Welcome to the unconventional start of a vlog. I have decided that we are going to be doing a summer themed reading vlog with some Summery 2021 releases. There are two books on my existing TBR that definitely fit this theme, those being Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid and People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. These are huge 2021 releases, highly anticipated, big authors, so I'm very excited to read them. But being me, rule of threes, you have to have 3 books. And so the third book, which was not on my existing TBR, is The Siren by Katherine St. John. Look at just how summery this cover is. The other two, just like vibes. We're living off of vibes here today. This one I just bought last week. It was in my Summerween vlog that I picked this up, and so I'm really excited for all 3 of these books. The idea of like reading a physical book that I just bought also is just too good to pass up. Instead of having this just sit on my TBR for who knows how long, I might actually read it. And I wanted to do an update now because I'm already a third of the way through Malibu Rising. I wasn't expecting to get there so fast, but I really got into the groove of it. I was not sold at the beginning. It definitely has her signature writing, but it's following a bunch of characters. There are 6 POVs, not like POVs in the traditional sense, but 6 main characters that you get to hear from. And it's not quite as focused as I think her other books have been, but now I'm in it and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. It's really fun having the mix of fictional famous people and real famous people. So this book follows one of the husbands of Evelyn Hugo, Nick Riva, who's a very famous singer. So it follows him and his family, both in the relative past of the book in the 50s and then the present tense in the 80s, where the kids are throwing a party. The kids are like all in their 20s. It's not weird. This isn't like a birthday party or something. It's just a party. And there's been cute little nods to Evelyn Hugo, which I've really found fun. But yeah, so far so good. I'm so happy that I'm loving it because I was really worried. Yeah, it's really good. Taylor Jenkins Reid's writing is excellent. I just think it's not as focused as her other books, and so I'm holding it to a higher standard, but I am still really loving it. Good morning. I got to 50%, just over 50% through Malibu Rising last night, so I got into the second part. The first part is before the party, and then this is during and I assume after the party, and it's definitely taken a shift. The first part was sort of the backstory, so covering the parents' story and the kids growing up, and a lot of like the character building stuff. And now it looks like we're not going to have any more flashbacks, and it's just going to be like what happens at the party. So I think it's going to end up being quite different, and maybe it's a good different, but I do notice we're getting even more perspectives now, like not just the 6 Rivas. We're getting perspectives from random people at the party, random friends and actresses and stuff, and I hope it just doesn't get bogged down by that. I am really enjoying it. I think that maybe I was just a little hesitant going into this, that it wasn't going to be everything that I wanted it to be, but it keeps impressing me at every turn. So I just need to give it a minute and let it impress me. But I'm also excited because I'm going to get my second COVID vaccine this morning. So that will be very exciting. I know people feel groggy after the second one, so I'm anticipating a very chill evening. I'm also flying through Malibu Rising, so I'm gonna have to pick my next book soon, and it'll probably end up being The Siren, because this is chunky and I don't have an audiobook for it, so I should get it started as soon as possible. People We Meet on Vacation, I do have an audiobook for. I wasn't expecting to be back so soon, but I finished it. I finished Malibu Rising this evening and it was really good. I think part of this is a case of having my expectations too high, but I'm trying to be as reasonable as possible, and I do feel like the book had some problems with it. Sorry if you can hear that, my husband's being loud. But it had a problem of not being focused, having all of those POVs, so many names to keep track of. Like, I'm really glad I read it in 2 days because I could actually like remember who everybody was, because I could see it getting confusing really quickly. But I thought that there was a really good underlying story there. The Rivas, all of the siblings, they have such an interesting relationship. They like grow in such interesting ways. Like, it's really good. I just think it's a shame that it got distracted by the party setting. I get that it's a good gimmick and a premise that I like in theory, but I don't think that this was what that needed. Like, Taylor Jenkins Reid does character studies and over a long period of time, and that was what was best about this. Mick and Jun's relationship, covering like 20 years and the kids growing up, like that was the strongest part of this book, and I wish that it had just been that blown up more. And there was no reason that all of the stuff with the kids had to come to a head at this party. It just kind of did, which was fine. It just like, there wasn't a good reason for the gimmick. I'm trying to find a way to say this that's not a spoiler. I thought that something bad was gonna happen, like a specific bad thing. Bad things happen, but a specific bad thing I thought was gonna happen, and it didn't, and I was like relieved for the character, but then I didn't like get the catharsis of the bad thing happening, because Taylor Jenkins Reid doesn't write happy books. Things don't just like work out in her books, and this one, things worked out more than I was expecting to. It's definitely not like sunshine and roses, but more so than usual. Anyway, that's Malibu Rising. I'm gonna give it 4 stars, which I feel good about. There's part of me that wants to give it 5 because there is a 5-star story in there, but it just had too much filler around it. So next up, I think I'm going to start People We Meet on Vacation, which I realized is the same audiobook narrator. My bad. Somehow I keep doing that. Because I know that the Siren is also about famous people, and I want to kind of make sure that I don't get the two confused. So, People We Meet on Vacation. Hi, don't mind my hair. I just showered. I am really bad at vlogging. The only time that I really shower is when I want to film a clip. So you are getting wet hair. Sorry about that. But what I'm not sorry about is the book update. I am just shy of 50% of the way through People We Meet on Vacation, and I love it. It's so good. I'm shocked that it's as good as it is, because I was really not a fan of Beach Read, and I thought this one would be different, but I really didn't have high hopes. But no, it's great. It's so much fun and so sweet, and just everything about it I love. It's about Poppy and Alex, who were best friends. They took a vacation every year until something happened on their last one, and they've had a falling out of sorts. And I knew that before going into it, but I didn't realize their falling out was so recent. I think it's only been 2 years. Which is interesting. I'm interested to see how that plays. So it's in 2 timelines, this summer and then 10 years ago, 9 years ago, you know, following all of their vacations, which is such a fun format because you get the main story, but then you also get like a little dip into this fun adventure that we had and how they grew as people, and I just love it. The characters are so fun. The banter is excellent. Like, banter is the #1 thing in a romance. I will fight you. It's just the most important thing, and this one has excellent banter. Oh, they also mentioned cotton candy grapes in it, which is wild because I have cotton candy grapes in this house, and if you can get your hands on cotton candy grapes, you need to try them, because they are an experience. I'm so happy with this one. Like, I'm just praying that it keeps on the trajectory that it's on, because it's incredible. I'm so happy with it. This is definitely a case of it's harder to articulate what you love in a book rather than what you don't. Oh, because one thing that I don't love about it is that they have just been friends for like 10 years and it's a romance, so like they're gonna get together, which has the implication of men and women can't be friends, which I don't love. It could be fixed if just Poppy had another female friend or Alex had another female friend. Did I say female twice? Doesn't matter. But that doesn't seem to be happening, which is too bad. But that's gonna be a problem in virtually all friends to lovers romances, which is probably why I don't lean toward them. But I'm loving it so much that I thought I need to make this last as long as possible. So I started reading the Siren, just like the first 2 pages, and I was like, I have to vlog this because the first page has a quote from Banksy on it. It says, in the future, everyone will want to be anonymous for 15 minutes. From Banksy. Why? It's such a strange choice, and I just needed you to be privy to it. So like, yeah, literally nothing has happened. There's a quote from Banksy, and then a bit about how they're gonna be making a movie, and that's literally all I know. Oh, and her giant face is just the whole back cover. I've never seen that before. That's so weird. Anyway, I'm gonna keep reading this now. I want to keep reading People We Met on Vacation, but I also want it to last as long as possible. And this thing is chunky, so I need to get started on it. Every time I pick it up, I'm shocked that it's only 400 pages. It feels like at least 500, but I guess I just don't read many chunky books lately. Also, it's an extremely floppy paperback, so if that's something that you care about, which we should all care about, this might be the book for you. It's got Banksy, it's got flop. What more could you want? A compelling story? Whatever, weirdo. We're here now to finish up this summary reading vlog because I have to be honest with myself, I'm not enjoying the Siren. I'm about 100 pages in, about a quarter, and I'm just skim reading it, which honestly I was enjoying. Being able to feel like you're flying through a book and still getting all of the information. That was a fun experience, but then I was just thinking about like all the other books that I have on my TBR for this month, and life is too short to waste on books that you're not enjoying. The story is interesting, I think, but the writing isn't gelling with me, so I really wish there was like a Cliff's Note version. I would just read that, but there doesn't appear to be that option. The other thing is, this doesn't take place on a boat. I don't know why I thought it would take place on a cruise ship. Nothing on the back says anything about a cruise ship. There's just a little illustration here, and that's what I based most of my understanding of the book on, which was incorrect, so my bad. This is just a case of the writing not gelling with me, which is too bad, but it's okay. Onward and upward, because I did finish People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, and oh boy, I love this book so much. I don't even know what to say about it because it's just like my perfect book. Oh, I am an idiot, so after the end there's an author's note where it talks about how she feels whenever she rewatches When Harry Met Sally, and like, I'm an idiot. This is When Harry Met Sally. Like, that's the whole premise. I get it now. So that was cool. So if you love When Harry Met Sally, which I traditionally don't, but it kind of make me want to rewatch it. But yeah, everything about this book was incredible. The banter was incredible. The build in the relationship was great. All of the little side characters were so fun. I do feel like the momentum slowed toward the end, but then I bawled like a little baby. So that has to earn it some points. I'm giving this one 5 stars. I think this is a new favorite book. This is also just such an easy recommendation for me. Like, I think so many people will enjoy this book because of how light and fun and summer vibes it is. So I would highly, highly recommend this one. I'm shocked because of how much I hated Beach Read, how this is like a new favorite book. That shouldn't happen, and yet it did. It was just so true to life. Like, I love whenever they're on a vacation, they come up with like a theme for the vacation, just sort of naturally out of like inside jokes, which is something I do. Please comment whatever your last summer trip theme was, because in the book they give a couple examples, like when in Rome, that's how they justify like buying anything. They had another one that was Does This Speak to You, which is very good. I very much enjoyed that. We had a trip that was Shut Up and Have Fun. That was a good motto for a trip. We've definitely had other ones. I have to think of them, but please let me know what yours are, because I just think it like comes out so naturally, and the way that Emily Henry was able to capture that, I thought was really special. I'm gonna have to go out and buy a hard copy of it and force it upon everyone I know. Yay. But yeah, in conclusion, I read 2 books and I DNF'd one. Malibu Rising, Taylor Jenkins Reid. Give it 4 stars. Still a really good book, just not Taylor Jenkins Reid's strongest for me. People We Meet on Vacation, 5 stars, new favorite. Go read it right now if it interests you at all. And then The Siren by Katherine St. John. Temporarily DNFing. Still good, still an interesting premise, just the writing didn't jive with me. So if the writing jives with you, it might be something you enjoy. Thank you for joining me for this Summery vlog. I hope you had a good time, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.